This video will show you how to log in to the Municipal Support Information System and how to add an application. Type your username and password and click Login. If this is your first time logging in, or if you have forgotten your password and you click the Forgot Password button, you will go to the Password Reset screen. Your password must be 8 characters long and contain at least 1 uppercase character, 1 lowercase character, and 1 number. It cannot contain spaces or special characters. Enter your password and enter it a second time. To provide a high level of security for the site, each time you log in, you will have to answer one of 3 security questions. Here is where you set your questions. Please choose 3 questions and corresponding answers. Once complete, click Submit. Click Yes to the pop-up box. Do you want to save? The system brings you back to the login screen to now enter your user ID and new password. You are asked one of the 3 security questions that you just set, and you are now logged into the system. If you are logging in as a municipality, you will see the list of your applications and projects. You can click on these and view your submitted, reviewed applications, or continue to work on a pending application. Or you can click on a project and view project information or submit a status report. If you are logging in as a consultant, you will see a set of drop-downs which provide you with the opportunity to choose the community you are representing. Once you select the applicant type and applicant, you will see the list of applications and projects for that community. An application with the status of pending is one that has been started and can still be updated. An application with the status of submitted can no longer be updated as it has been submitted by you to the department. An application with the status of reviewed has been reviewed by the department. Once approved, the project will be displayed. Let's add a new application. Click Add Application in the left-hand menu. If you do need to go back to your list of applications and projects, please click on Capital Works in the left-hand menu. You now see the starting point of an application. Application number and application status will be filled in once you save the application. The first thing you need to do is choose Municipal Capital Works in the Program drop-down. Municipal Capital Works is typical for most towns. Multi-year capital works applies only to larger towns that have previously been multi-year funded. You cannot apply for both. You should apply for the program under which you have received past funding. Choose a year in the Year drop-down. The applicant type and applicant is auto-populated based on login if you are a municipality. As well, population and address information is auto-populated from MIMS. Scroll to the bottom and click Save for Later. You can see error messages next to the required fields indicating that they cannot be empty. You see that some fields have a red asterisk next to them. This indicates the minimum required fields in order to save this application by clicking the Save for Later button. In fact, the majority of the fields on the application are required before you can submit the application to the department for review. The following contact information is required for this application. The contact must be an applicant official, not a consultant. You can enter the same address as appears for the town, or you can enter a different one. Please enter an email address if you have one, as it makes follow-up easier in the event that the department has questions. Now let's fill out the contact information. Enter a contact name. Enter contact position. Enter address line 1. Enter address line 2 if applicable. Choose your town, city. Enter a postal code. Enter a telephone number. Enter a fax number. Enter your email address. And now we can move to the project information section. It is important to provide a title that is descriptive, especially if you are applying for more than one project. Enter a project title. Enter the application date. Enter a resolution of council date. All applications must be supported by a resolution of council or the committee of an LSD. Enter the date of the resolution here, and before you submit the application, upload a PDF copy at the bottom of the screen. Select whether the resolution of council has passed. If you are submitting more than one application, you will need to indicate the priority for each one. Choose an applicant priority. Choose a project category. Some projects might involve infrastructure fitting into several of these categories. Please select the category that most fits the underlying purpose of the project. Selection of a project category loads a filtered list of project screening questions. Whenever you see the spin wheel, then further information is loading to the screen, and you should wait for it to finish before moving on. Click Save for later. Remember that you would not want to click Submit until you have all of the required documentation, because you will not be able to upload documentation after you submit the application. Note the application number that appears at the top of the screen. Scroll back to the Project Information section and continue entering information. The problem description and project description are limited to 500 characters. Enter a problem description. Describe the problem that the town is experiencing and identify the consequences if this project is not funded. Please include how this project intends to address the problem described above. Enter the project description. Describe the scope of the project in sufficient detail to demonstrate its necessity, effectiveness. Include, where applicable, such details as the following: location, project size or limit, options considered, preferred option, related works included, project exclusions, extent and condition of existing services, if any. Please reference any study that may be applicable for assessing the application. Next is a question pertaining to the project. The proposed upgrade or repair of an existing physical infrastructure? As an example, if the project is to build a town hall, are you expanding and upgrading the present building, or demolishing and creating a new building? Is this a public-private partnership? For the purposes of this question, a public-private partnership is established by a formal agreement between a community and a private sector firm for the funding, construction, and operation of infrastructure for public benefit. Is this a regionalization project? A regionalization project is one in which two or more municipalities work together on a single project, or where one municipality works on a project which will also benefit neighboring municipalities. If you click Yes, you will see an additional question. Has a memorandum of understanding been signed between all the municipalities involved? If the project is a regional project, then you would select a regional community. Move to the Project Screening Criteria section. Select Yes or No to the questions that appear. In direct relation to the question, is the project financially feasible for the town? Please make sure that your financial evaluation shows how you intend to pay your share of the project. Move to the Project Benefits section. Select as many benefits as are relevant to your project. Enter the number of services. This applies to water and sewer services only. Please indicate the number of dwelling units that are to be connected to the system. Divide the total project cost by the number of units to determine the cost per service. To do this, we need to first enter the costs in the Project Cost section. Move to the Project Cost section. Enter a value in construction, Prime Consultant, Equipment, and Town Forces, if relevant. Equipment and town forces are intended to capture town costs if there are any costs that the town incurs directly, such as an environment application fee or use of town construction equipment. If a value is entered in other, the system requires the entry of details. If a value is entered in other funding, the system requires the entry of source. The system has calculated the project total. You can now enter the cost per service. Next, you need to indicate whether the detailed estimate is attached. This would typically be the detailed cost estimate as provided by the consultant. This can be attached to this application by clicking Add Document at the bottom of the screen. See the Quick Facts documentation for file type and size restrictions. Scroll to the bottom of the screen to the Documents section. Please refer to the Call for Applications or the Municipal Affairs website for details on the supporting documentation that is required. Please click the Add Document button. Choose Financial Estimate in the drop-down. Click the Browse button and locate the document on your computer. Click Upload and click Save for later. Move back to the Project Cost section to enter Who Prepared Costs. If you select the Consultant Radio button, the drop-down below is populated with a list of consultants known to the department. If you click the Town Radio button, the drop-down changes to a text box so you can enter a name. Please enter the estimate prepared date. The next section pertains to gas tax funding. You can indicate whether you propose to use your gas tax funding towards this Capital Works project and enter the amount. As well, you can then enter the gas tax project number. The next question is quite important. Are you applying gas tax funding towards your portion of the contribution? If you answer no, then the amount entered above will be removed from the total amount being requested on this application. If you answer yes, then that indicates that you will be applying it to your cost-shared amount, but the municipal share will not be reduced by that amount. Lastly, you would indicate whether permission has been obtained from the Gas Tax Secretariat. In the cash flow section, the requested application total appears based on the cost entered in the above section. The cash flow section provides you with the opportunity to indicate how much of the requested application total will be spent in each of the years. The numbers entered in the total estimated budget years must equal the requested application total. Projected cash flow should be based on realistic estimates of the time needed for project approval, design, and construction. Please review your application to ensure you have entered all of your information. Once you determine your application is complete and ready for submission to the department, please click Submit. Remember, you will no longer be able to make changes once you click Submit. To provide you with a quick view into how the multi-year application is different from the Municipal Capital Works application, please click on Add Application in the left-hand menu. Please choose Multi-Year Capital Works in the Program drop-down and select the year. A multi-year application is displayed. It looks a lot like the Municipal Capital Works application, but has a few distinct differences. Scroll down and notice the Save Project button. Since you can add more than one project, this application has been designed in such a way that all of the project information needs to be saved and updated independent of the overall application. As you save each project, it will be displayed in the project summary. As you make changes to the individual projects, you need to click the Update Project button. To add a second project, click the Add Project button. It is important to note that the application has not yet been saved. In order to save the application, you need to click Save for Later. Note that you can tell that the application has been saved based on the message at the top of the screen, and the application number is provided to you.